Hey everyone, how is it going? Welcome back. I'm Krishna, developer advocate here at Eden AI. So in this video, I'll show you how to build a workflow that scrapes content from various websites and extracts key information using an LLM. So we'll start with the web scraping tool, which is already there in the Eden AI platform. And then we use an AI model to analyze and extract only the key information that is required. So the web scraper tool is used to collect the raw data and the AI model or the LLM that we're going to use just to analyze and extract the data we need, right? So this is perfect for automating research and monitoring trends and also structuring those messy data into something very useful. Everything is performed on the Eden AI platform, which is no code. So it's quite exciting and easy to use. So without any delay, let's dive in. So when you are in the home page of Eden AI application, navigate to the workflows and you can see there are basic workflows, advanced workflows, my workflows. So for now, let's start from scratch, basic workflows. So click on this, create a workflow. I mean, there are a lot of templates available for various purposes, but uh, I want to start from scratch. Then the workflow name should be something like, okay, LLM scraping chat, something like that. And then let's, create a project. Okay. So this is a basic skeleton, uh, you know, you'll get when you create from scratch, right? So the idea is pretty simple. So you take URLs, two URLs where you want to get the data from, right? So the first URL is basically your primary URL, but let's say if it fails, you may have one more backup, right? So you have to take two URLs and then one more input to ask question, right? So that's basically the input node. I mean, we are going to use a lot of nodes here. When I say nodes, it means the input field, the input as a whole, or uh, it also means, right, a feature or a model or even tools, right? So let's start with the input node here, and yes, so it's a string and we want the name to be URL1, right? Let's consider your URL1 as the primary URL. So edit field, and let's add one more input saying URL2, right? Let's add that. And then one more input field so that we can ask questions, right? So let's say it's also the string, so not the question. Okay, and then let's add the field. Okay, so we have all the inputs. So the next step is to scrape the data, right? So in the next, add your first AI feature. The node is empty, so we can choose a node here. We can choose something called scraping. Let's type scraping. Yeah, scraping. Okay, web scraper, right? So we select web scraper and add to the workflow. So by default, the website it's going to scrape is edenai.co, but we don't want that. Then we want to insert value from previous node, which is get value from the input, true. Select the field value URL1. Okay, URL1 is the primary URL, so we choose URL1, add the value, save it, done. Okay, so everything is fine till now. But let's say if the URL1 fails, then it should go to the URL2, right? So it's a kind of conditional. So we have to add a conditional if. So just click on this plus button so that you can add another node in between and search for uh, okay, search for if. Okay, scroll down. Yeah, the if statement, right? Add to the workflow. Here, okay. So the operator type is string, left value, operation, right value, right? It's a pretty straightforward definition of if else. So the idea is simple. if we just need to check if the URL has data or not, right? So, so the left value, we just insert value from the previous node. And then we take the value from the web scraper, not from the input. And then add to the scraper and then save it. And the operation just exists, right? I mean, that's it. If it exists, if that's true, it should go to the LLM, I mean, as a context. If it's not, then we scrape the other website. Simple, right? So let's add this. Let's check for LLM chat or let's try chat. Okay, so this is the feature that we want to see. So allow users to interact with NLP models like GPT-3 and 4. Yeah, let's add to the workflow. And then let's configure it. I want to use Cloud 3.5 Sonnet. I think it's a pretty solid model for now. Let me try. And the fallback, I want to try with, let's try OpenAI GPT-4o. Okay, yeah, GPT-4o. Let's try that as a fallback provider. And then the text is basically the context, right? So the context is nothing but your scraping data, the scrape data, right? Since this is true, that means the scrape data is from the URL 1. So let's insert the value from not again the input, but from the web scraper, then add value, then save it, right? Okay, so oops, just a second, click it again, my bad. Okay, then here we got the text, that's the context, and then the chatbot global action. So it's the thumb rule. Chatbot global action is nothing but instructions. What do you want to do? What do you want to do with the context, right? So you can say something like, you are a news agent. Your task is to summarize the answer for the question asked. And then add the question, which is nothing but the question input, right? So just add the value, save it. Okay, and everything is pretty straightforward. And yeah, temperature, let's make it 0.4. I mean, temperature is like the greater the temperature, the stricter the model becomes, right? I mean, if the temperature is 1, it tries to use less of its generalization capability. So I just want the model to be flexible, so I just gave it 0.4 for now. Next tokens 1000. Okay, everything's like fine. Yeah, everything's fine for now. Okay, and then okay, all right, if it is false, then we should go back to the scraping. So let's type web scraper again, add to the workflow. Yeah, again, the default value is edenai.co, but we don't need that. Insert value, but this time we are going to choose URL2, right? Add value and just save it, right? Okay. And then after scraping, we also need to pass this to the LLM again, right? But not this one, we need to pass another one. So again, if you type chat, you can see the chat here. To the workflow, simple. Okay, so before that, let me just copy the context, I mean the instruction here, copy, then the chat 1, the global action, let me paste it. I mean, it's the same instructions again, right? So the text, okay, so the text this time it's from the web scraper 1, right? So you choose the value from web scraper 1 and then add value and then just save it. Okay, Again, the provider, I want to use Claude 3.5. I love the model. Then fallback providers, let me change it to Gemini. Well, no, let's just stick on to the GPT-4o for now. Okay, GPT-4o. Okay. And then, okay. So we need to insert the previous value node, right? I mean, this is, again, the data, it's the same thing, the question. So input, it's a question, that value, save. Okay. So this is a question, and this is the instruction that you gave to the model, right? And the temperature is 0.4 or somewhere. Okay. And then, yeah, that should do. Okay, so what happened so far? So if we go back and see, we took the input, it has three fields: URL1, the primary URL, URL2, the backup URL, and the question you wanted to ask, right? And then we passed it to the web scraper. Oh, oops. See the default again, it's edenai.co. We need to change it to the URL1. Okay. Save it. Okay. Okay, so the input URL is fixed. So once it scrapes from the input URL, let's say if the URL is providing some error or it couldn't scrape properly, because of this conditional, it chooses two different tracks. Let's say if the content is there and the URL is scraped successfully, then it goes to the chat one, the LLM chat, and then that's it. It goes out to the output. Straightforward. But let's say if it's not working, then if it's false, that means if it's false, then it scrapes the URL2 that we gave, the backup URL, and then it is passed to the LLM, another LLM, and it goes to the output. So this flow is tough if you start coding, but thanks to this platform, it's quite simple. I think we've done this within 5 minutes. So that's how you're gonna use workflows here on the Eden AI platform. Okay, now let's test this workflow. So just hit this API and live testing component. Then you'll be navigated to this place, right? So it's URL1. I gave the primary URL, URL2, and this is the question I want to ask. So I mean, it's basically the articles are about Elon Musk's reaction on Trump's winning. So I just asked a quick question, simple question, asking what did Elon Musk say about Trump's winning? Then just let's test the workflow and see. Okay, the scraper is running. So it first scrapes the primary URL, the URL1. It may take a couple of seconds because the article is a bit lengthy. Okay. All right, the scraping's done successfully, and it then moved to the next node, the LLM node. Okay. Oh, okay. So based on the article, Trump said about Musk, okay. Later in the article, when asked about Musk after changes, Trump said it was okay. Elon can't do whether it's okay. Well, I think that's it. I mean, it worked. But when you click on the output, it says the result is true, which means the URL1 worked, right? If the result is false, then it would have been scraped again, the other URL. Okay, that's it. So if you notice, while we are building the builder here, while we are adding the nodes, modifying the inputs, everything, You can observe that the code snippet here also changes. Your payload changes, right? This is the URL. This is the endpoint, or this is the API that you will hit if you want to use this particular workflow into your project, right? So, these are the headers, and then this is the endpoint, and this is the payload. That's how you going to use this particular snippet into your project if you're using a Python based environment like Django or Fast API or something. You can use this code snippet, or if it's a Node.js or any other JS environment, you can use this particular code snippet, right? And let's say if you want to get real-time notifications, you can use something called webhooks. You can configure your webhooks, and then you can provide the URL here and then just add the webhook. So this is how complete end-to-end flow works using the workflow tool on the Eden AI. I hope you have learned something, yeah, using this tutorial. If you liked and if you learned something, thank you so much. And I'll see you again. Have a great day.